I was in a nursery about a year ago and I saw a really strange looking plant. I didn't actually recognise it or know what it was. So I had a closer look and it had these tiny little leaves which were very short and stumpy and pointy. And I saw the tag and it said Canotto. Now, my only association with the word Canotto was these beverages that I drank from Italy, which are these very bitter soft drinks that they make. You get them in these little San Pellegrino bottles. And I don't particularly like them. I'm not really into things that are bitter, but the Italians quite like bitter, and you see it run through things they make, like Campari is a good example. I didn't know at the time, but Campari is actually made out of the Canottos, these little sour oranges. So because I didn't know what it was, I decided to actually go and plant one. So I bought it, I took it home, planted it, and this is my first crop of Canottos. So to give it some perspective, that's a relatively normal sized orange, and that is the Canottos that I'm growing. This is actually the proper size. They are very much a very small fruit. And just a little bit of trivia, they're the only citrus that doesn't have thorns. So they've got weird little leaves, they've got no thorns, they've got these funny little fruit. So they're a bit of an oddity all round. So they piqued my curiosity. So I ate one a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if it wasn't quite ready or if it's just how they are, because I've got a feeling they're very sour and very bitter. And I've been throwing around in my mind what I can actually do with them. And I thought, well, why don't we have a bit of fun? There's only a handful of them, there's not much. Why don't we try making something like a limoncello, some sort of canottocello? So what I thought we'd do tonight is run through how to make it. It's a little bit of an experiment for us. And of course, you can also just make it out of normal lemons. I'd had an idea in my head to make it out of the Japanese yuzu. And I've actually got a yuzu tree in the orchard as well. And I had 3 nice sized yuzus coming along. And something went wrong and they all fell off the tree and died. So my plan to make yuzu cello went out the window. So let's try canottocello. So I'm sort of making this up as I go. But that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to peel the canottos and we're just going to use the actual skin of them, and then we're going to soak it in 1 cup of alcohol and going to leave it for a week. Now, to get the best result, you need 95% alcohol. Now, I don't know how you're going to get it, but that's the eternal mission to make good limoncello, is to get 95% alcohol. So let's start out by peeling these little suckers. Now, I'm trying not to take too much of the pith, the white bit, because I've got this funny feeling in my head that this is a bitter little fruit anyhow, and I'm sure there'd be even more bitterness in the pith. So I'm trying to take the rind off quite cleanly. So this is what these little guys look like inside. So very much just that tiny little orange, just an orange in miniature. Got big seeds for a little fruit, and there's that underlying bitterness that runs through it after you've actually chewed on it. There's sweetness, but then there goes bitter too. So that's the end of the peeling. There's a similar number of skins there to probably 3 lemons or 3 oranges if they're little, I guess. And then why don't we do 1 cup of 95% alcohol. Now if you're playing with this stuff, remember it is highly flammable, so it's not something you muck around with. Simply pour it over the skins. And then we'll just let it sit in the fridge. I'm just going to put some cling wrap over it, but if you had an actual lid that's screwed on, that'd be fine too. And we'll come back in a week and we'll go to stage 2. Looking forward to it. Cheers.